It's Money Mondays on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, then, with the AKAs, with their own intro, the one and only, Jini Thornton. Jini, you heard that? Got your own intro.
Come on now. Good morning.
We are so happy to have you on this morning. Happy early Founders Day to you and your wonderful sorors, members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Listen now, at the beginning of the new year, it's normal for us to be focused on our finances and want to do better with our money this year than we did last year. So we got our money expert, the one and only Jini Thornton, is here to help us get off to a good start this year. Jini, what's up?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. So, Rickey, you know you're right. Everybody's focused on money. It's the beginning of the year. And everyone always asks me this time of the year, Jini, where should I start? What should I be focused on? And what you should be focused on first is really get a handle on where are you financially? Like, where are you? What is your credit score? How much debt do you have? How did things go for you financially last year? How much money have you saved? How much is in your retirement? You know, it's really important to assess where we are before we can determine where we really need to focus. So, and what have we been avoiding financially too? That's another important question to answer. So let's figure out where we are, get our goals together, and let's get going. It's January.
Well, you know what, Jini, many people have already thought about their financial goals for 2023. Things like raising their credit score, paying down some debt, or saving more. Now, before we decide what our 2023 money goals are, what should we be doing first?
And that's what I was just saying, Brad. We got to figure out where we are financially. And what's really important, too, let's determine what we have going on this year. Are you moving out of state? Do you have a child going to college? Let's assess what we have going on. That way, again, we know where to double down. We know where to focus and put our energy and efforts towards.
I love that, Jini. You know, I pulled my bank statements over the last quarter, and I was like, whoa, too many smoothies, too much going out to eat. So I definitely feel you on that. So, Jini, for people who are already struggling financially and have decided, you know, they need some help with their finances this year, what are some steps that they can take, and where should they go?
You know, Maria, it's interesting. It's one thing to acknowledge that you need help, but it's something completely different to know where to go to get some help with your finances, particularly with so many scammers out here right now. So one place that I do recommend is the National Foundation for Credit Counseling. Again, National Foundation for Credit Counseling. That's nfcc.org. And one thing that I love about them, they can help you with debt counseling, credit counseling. They can help you to prepare to buy a house. They can help you with credit card debt, student loan debt. They can even help you negotiate lower interest rates with your creditor. So again, check out nfcc.org if you need some assistance this year.
Now, switching gears a little bit, I know I'm going to be winning that 1 billion, maybe millions.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Now, what advice you have for me and other people who come into a lot of money at once?
Yeah, inheritance or just...
I know that's right. So I'm going to go ahead and text you the list of what I need you to buy me first.
Right.
First, let's do that. But what's really important, Rickey, for us to understand is we may or may not win the Mega Millions, but it's not unusual for people to come into a large sum of money, whether they're selling real estate, someone in their family passes away and leaves them some life insurance, or maybe you get a raise or a big tax refund. The key to managing a windfall, though, Rickey, is first thing you should do is nothing. You know, I think people automatically, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to do this. You need to take 30 or 60 days and do nothing. You need to get adjusted to having that money first. And one thing I think is important is something one of my friends taught me is it's called spend it on paper first. You need to write out what your plan is for this new windfall that you have. How are you going to spend it? What are your priorities? Please don't forget about the IRS, of course.
Right.
And then, of course, we need to be very careful about who we tell, because, you know, that could change up our plans. Let's kind of keep everything a little close to the chest and get our plan together first.
All right.
Do you got an update on the President Biden's student loan forgiveness program? I mean, how's that? Where's that at right now?
Well, you know, what's interesting about that right now is, I don't know if a lot of people realize it, that's actually getting ready to go before the Supreme Court. So there is no forgiveness on the way yet. That is actually going before the Supreme Court. So those of us who are expecting that $10,000 or $20,000 in forgiveness, we have no idea when that's going to happen. But what's interesting is legal experts say that President's policy has a very narrow path to survival in front of the justices. So let's keep our fingers crossed and say a couple of prayers, and hopefully the Supreme Court will go in favor of President Biden's plan.
For sure. And Janai, what's some basic things that you would like to see everybody do this year to help, to manage their finances better?
A couple things. Number one, it's really important that you have either a weekly or like a bi-monthly money meeting. You need to get in the habit of having a set day and time where you sit down and focus on your finances.
Yeah, that
Pay your bills.
Yeah.
Yes, please. And that's for all of us.
Meeting.
No, you don't.
Wait a minute, say what you not? Say that again.
No, you don't. That's the thing. People think I have to have a lot of money to build that habit. But no, I don't care if you have 10,000 or 20 million. You have got to get in the habit of having that focused time. When you pay your bills, when you check your balances, when you're looking at your money goals, or when you're meeting with your spouse or your significant other, discussing your finances. It's just like working out. If you work out occasionally, you don't get the results. It's same thing with our finances, having that set time of focusing on our finances. That, and one more thing, everybody, please get a will this year. I need everybody to put that on their to-do list. Please, Gary, you too.
Oh, baby, I've been having a will for about 10 years, honey. My dad was a mortician.
I
Set out wills.
I done went down there and picked out all my stuff. I done wrote out obituary. I got everything laid down to the T. Who get this lamp, that from the lamp to a necklace to my tennis shoes. Every single thing has been written.
That is so
and then a separate will of who not to give nothing to.
And who shouldn't come, right?
And wait a minute, Janai, I got a seating chart for my funeral. I wish you would put some of these Negroes in a limousine and you handing them tissue and they mistreated me while I was living. I got some folks that's not related to me that's gonna be in them front two limousines mixed with people. Who I'm gonna do. We can do a whole segment on Janai. Let's do a whole segment on a will, because guess what? We don't like to talk about it.
True.
We do not like to talk about it. But guess what? With two things we're going to do. We're going to pay taxes, stay black, and die. It's going to happen.
Listen,
so we on here talking about taxes and civil rights. Why we can't talk about what's going to happen when we leave? You got kids and grandkids, and then somebody suffering your death, right? Now they got to fight with other family members over a damn car. And then all the money goes to the probate court, and then the government end up getting all the money.
Yeah. Yep. And now you got them folk in your business making decisions about your assets and your family. Come on, we know better than that.
I'm
so
talking
please,
about then wrote that obituary. I got a little 3-fold. I know what pictures I want in there, a video I play. And then I'm going to do a list of folks that I don't want to come to my funeral service. Comedian George Wallace, I don't want him there. I don't want Hope Flood there. I don't want comedian LeVar Walker there, comedian
You
Big
don't want
Sean.
D-Ray there.
I don't want D-Ray nowhere near my funeral, sir. I can't stand D-Ray Davis. And comedian Double D in Atlanta that I was roasting my jacket. Janai had on the leather jacket. He said my jacket looked like it was made out of some old college footballs. Or whatever. Yeah, Rock, you was with me. Oh, yeah, they are never sitting nowhere near.
Wow.
You said what?
Pigskin leather coat. That old football stitched around there.
Yeah, Janai, we're gonna do a whole final. We're gonna do a whole segment about that. Let everybody know how you can be reached.
You can follow me at Jini Thornton. That's JINITHORNTON. Y'all have an amazing Monday Monday, y'all.
Old school Voigt leather coat.
Listen, I'm gonna borrow that seating chart idea from you. I didn't think about that, but I'm gonna borrow that seating chart idea from you. I love that.
Janai, you got family. You got folks that done talked about you like a dog while you was living, and they get to sit on the front 6 rows of your funeral. I don't care how related they are. And then you got people that work in the building that love you and care about you, and they got to sit in the back of a church. I'm going to start a whole trend. You better not comfort them. They're going to be in, you can't even go in the overflow, because I know my little service is going to be packed. They're going to have my service down there at Mount Olive at Pastor Davidson Church, and they're going to
Ain't
take
nobody
me
coming to that.